Hello, Midori. It is so good to speak with you again. How are you doing?
Good to see you. Happy to be having this conversation. I am really looking forward to this month.
Oh my goodness. I am so excited. And when the calendar turned to June, I was like, yes, it's Midori week or month. I get to do it again. I'm so excited. Let's talk a little bit about that. I know that so many people at Shaw were really, really happy with the last weekend that we spent with you in April. But I want to talk about how June is going to be different from that weekend that we spent learning with you.
I believe June is going to be a really unique weekend. Now, in my previous weekend, and for those of you who joined, thank you, we were on focusing on our work and learning as helping professionals, as therapists, as coaches, as counselors, and how to best serve those that we work with, right? So it was very much focused in the profession and and how to help out our clients. Great. Now we've also got the base language and concept and philosophy around it, and it's very positivistic and practical. So we got the language laid out, but it's still that was still focused on clients and those we serve. June is about ourselves
Excellent.
and ourself from not like digging into our past trauma. No, no, no. It's about having a place where we get to poke around at our erotic shadow side, our powers, our desires, come into our doubt, come into our discovery, into discussion. You know what's I'm excited about this too is that it's not recorded.
Yes. And yeah, we deliberately decided not to record this one.
And so why are we not recording this? Because I mean, let's face it, the moment that that record is happening, there's a shift in the way that we filter ourselves. We limit our own voices and internal work, and also the open discussion of it. I
Mm,
want this to be a space where we can stumble. There's so much pressure for us helping professionals to know it all. And we know we don't know. What we know is we don't know.
right.
We know we don't know, right?
Exactly.
But we have to be the ones who know and to hold space. What if we got to stumble and fall down, and it's like free form finger painting with our desires.
I love the way that was one of the things I appreciated so much. I love your definition of what kink is. Adult play,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. And having a place where we can explore ideas and have discussions without, and we're not going to be in a space of critique, we're going to be in a space of like genuine curiosity. And as helping professionals to be able to say, I'm not sure about this, or I'm uncomfortable with this, or I've never tried this, but I'm newly curious about this. And so the focus will be on self. It is also with the understanding that many of us are in professions where, and environments, even geographic areas in which we can't be, we may have ethical, professional, or personal boundaries around what our own desires that we share with outside world and how we present. And that it's a space where we understand that, and that we will have gentleness around that. And because of our personal, professional, ethical uh, rules that we hold for ourselves, we might not have been giving ourselves an opportunity to explore things, and also to put our biases, like our biases right in front and say, oh, well, I'm biased, but I'm turned on by it. I'm uncomfortable and I like it. Oh my God. Um, or what if you have always been the expert in the room
Mm.
and you didn't, if you're always the expert in the room, Who do you ask questions?
That is such a good point because I think a lot of the people in this program that are involved with Shaw, we are the ones who know the most in the room, and then we feel like we have to go new and different places to find answers for ourselves. What an amazing opportunity.
Yeah. And so I will share very transparently from my own experience. I will also have exercises to explore what it is that might thrill us. We will. One of the things I definitely want to do is go through my unique form of pre-play conversation, which it helps in any sex, really. It helps in any sex. Um, and the challenge that I want to put out to my colleagues, that yeah, okay, I'm facilitating and holding the space, but you all have been experts in each of your areas. What I am going to ask us, though, knowing this, is that to recognize the barriers and the filters and the way that we distance ourselves from the things that we are learning in order that we may learn new. This is an I am, right? So there can be a little bit of a, yeah, it's so easy, especially for, well, like you and me, smarty pants people, to use the intellectual insulation, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we need to do that in order to absorb all the material that we study academically
Right.
and to help our clients. But if we brought that down and spoke of our desires, and my framework on this is there is going to be no pathologizing. Because if we're going to be talking about shadow desires and taboo desires, so
Not not the space for us to be the fixers, right?
no, we're not fixing, but we are going to be collaboratively sharing naughty ideas. And I will be asking um, uh, questions and exercises around desire and power stuff. So I think part of the challenge is going to be to leave the clinical
Mm-hmm.
and the therapeutic behind, that we know that we need this space, right? And we get to be wrong and we get to stumble. It's not wrong, we get to stumble. I prefer stumbling. It's like if we're learning to walk or learning to ride a bicycle, we got to stumble.
Yeah, and I think it is so important, especially when we're kind of digging around in our own stuff, is to realize that there aren't any wrong answers. It's just part of the process.
Mhm. I'm going to expect that there'll be a range of experience around kink and exploration. And I'm also going to be counting on the shared wisdom in the room.
From what I've heard from those who've already bought their tickets, we do have quite a range of experience, and I think it will be really, really wonderful. The people that will be there in the room already. Too, for anyone who hasn't read it yet, picking up your Wild Side Sex.
Oh, here we go.
It's
Yep.
such a wonderful primer,
Oh, thank you.
especially if you are new to the kink world or just to certain parts of it, because you cover them of such a broad range of them in there. So,
Yeah,
well,
there's
thank you
a
so much.
lot.
We are at Shaw, so looking forward to this and counting down the days now. I'm trying to think. The date is the
You
26th.
know, now that I think about it, the cohort group that will come together will now have so much intimate knowledge of one another. It's kind of like a secret club.
It is kind of. And the interesting thing too is we're now inviting these people to bring their partners with them along on this exploration. So, yeah, this is going to be such a great weekend. Excellent. Well, thank you so much for talking with me today, and we're so excited to have you back.
So am I.
Great. Well, have a great day.